guys, how you doing? I am live. I'm running a little bit behind, but I'm going to grab my cards and we'll get started. I'm going to do an opening reading on some political stuff. Honestly, I don't really want to cover this latest incident with Trump. I just don't give a, you know what? I'm so tired of it. I don't, he attracts crazies. He does crazy things himself. Either way, let's just remember the Epstein files and his illegal war and all the other fraudulent charges and things that he's done hand over fist. I think we can do that. You know, I'm not one of those people that says we can't, look at more than one thing. No, no, no. Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Hello, Isabel, and my lovely Isadora, both of my favorite names. Okay, and got you, Maria Scorpio. You don't want that guy. Come on now. I got to give you a pep talk again. Stop. And lovely Michael, thank you so much. I got you down. Your number 3. Also wondered you had a colonoscopy. Yeah, I'm like going to be 58, so I've had the scope down because I had bleeding ulcers for why. But at one point, and I highly recommend that people do it just at least once, at least once. And so let me just look at I will look at your question as a two-parter. I actually think your second question, I've answered so much on that guy. I don't think that he's coming back anytime soon. And if he does, it's because he's the type that he's up to no good. I will put the health question concern more as a number 2, okay? About the colonoscopy. So that will be your question. I hope you don't mind me doing that, but we've read enough on him, and I think it's better to pull back where he's concerned. All right, sweetheart. So let's see. We have Lynette Sparkles, and she's the first one. All right, and then we have Maria, but we are going to ask about her concern with the medical matter. And thank you for being here. And thanks for anyone that's tuning in. I know that there's a lot of different people to listen to on a Sunday, and I'm a relatively small channel. So I appreciate y'all, new and old. And hello, Kelsey Wells, 777. I like those numbers. 7 is one of my favorite numbers. I know you want him back, but I think it's best to focus on healing yourself right now because I see the cards that he's not healthy for you. Okay. And we could do a quick flash on that. All right. We will. We will. All right. I'll look at both very quickly. All right. Now, Kelsey is number 4. Okay. And hi, is it Ian? Hello. Thank you for tuning in. Lynette Sparkles. Oh, well, you are a blessing to all of us. Thank you so very much. That's what I want to do. I feel like if there's one thing I can do that's helpful and where I'm not asking, or being paid for it, although if people want to leave a donation, I think that's fine. If they can't, that's fine too. But more concern to me is that if I can give you some advice or make you feel a little bit better, and I won't blow smoke up your bum because what you see is what you get with me. Yeah, only one question left. Thank you. I think it's really important that we all treat each other the way we want to be treated and spoken to the same. I think that's so important, and we need to catch ourselves when we get short, and when we're frustrated. And if we make a mistake and snap at people, we need to apologize and own up to it. Much unlike this current administration, they are not like that, and that is why we have to care. I'm sorry, I got to brush my hair out. I just got myself on the hop here and put some product in my hair to control my frizz. I just got to brush it out because I can't stand seeing it like that on the screen. So just let me get that brushed up and I'm going to feel a lot better. Oh, yes. That's much better. All right. And I was also going to ask you guys, I'm thinking about also doing a video for those that are interested on some of the makeup that I like to use. I love exploring with that. I think that I could do it just a couple videos sometimes on that. So I'm gonna do that. Okay, Ian, I've got you. You are numero 5. You are number 5. Okay. So now the questions are all folded up. This is why I tell people if you really want to get a question in, you can always, it's probably best to post prior to the live because sometimes if you come back late, it's already taken up. And 5 may not sound like much, but when you're reading for different people, boom, 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 and then doing a couple other readings, it's taxing. And I can feel really high for a couple of hours afterward, and I need to like decompress, like with music. But then I start to go, oh, it's okay because it's flexing spiritual muscles, in my opinion, my intuition. And I think that we're all actually kind of doing that when we watch a video on a reading and we're looking and tuning in, I don't even think we realize it. Okay. Now, so I had and was thinking about before I was like panicking when I saw the time, what kind of opening reading that I want to do on public stuff. Right now I've got all my makeup here and I need to shift it out. Having to have everything on the bed sucks. Yes. Ian, I'm with you on that. And as being someone that has a disability, I didn't want somebody that was going to be weird with me. And I wanted somebody that was just really transparent. And I prayed and I prayed and I went through a very painful, lonely, from 17 to almost 21. And in that time, I was recovering from an accident that left me paralyzed from like below the belly button down. And so it made me realize, sorry, I'm trying to get all my cards together, that I had been really poorly. And that I know that men do it too. And people of any persuasion do. And I just thought, oh my God. And that's, so the accident was very, very difficult, but it also was highly transformative. So when I read on people, I want to be able to let them know that I care because I do. I think we're all connected, we're all one. And I really believe that when we make something that is a benefit to people, period, we lift everyone up. So I think that's where we are slowly going, despite how things look right now. So I just want you to know that because it's going to get worse before it gets better. He's going to really take the biscuit, shall we say. And we all know who I'm talking about. We're talking about the one whose obituary the world is waiting for. And it's coming to fruition, just like my dreams had showed me. It's just that the hardest thing when you're giving information like that through dreams and readings is to have to sit back and just take it in. But we are called to witness it. And it's important because it's highly motivating, let's put it that way, to we the people to reclaim their power, which we've never really done. All right. Got my standard deck here, and I got my forecaster oracle. One of the other ones. Oh, wait a minute. Cat treats. I have all kinds. Anybody peckish? All right. There's a certain deck I'm looking for. Oh, I know. I set them up. Let me just grab these really quick because I never really know. I just want to find my Crow Oracle. All right. I have been going through this. There it is. All right. Another one. And the Woodland Wardens. That one's good. Oh, and there's my Lenormand. Okay. We now have 4, 5, 6 decks. I think we're good. Let's start. Okay. And I'll hide the current comment and see where you guys are at. Okay. Just want to see what Ian's saying, and I'll kind of catch up with the rest of you, and then we'll move on. You see who really is there for you. Some people say, call me when you need to, right? But then when you do, yeah, it's very true. They're not there. And it's one thing that I learned very, very young, and I'm a loner. So although I like people, I get very drained, and it takes me more as an introvert, mostly a longer time to refurbish my energy. So when I'm around a lot of people, although I can enjoy it, or small groups, I like small groups of people, like 3, 4, that's fine, but it will drain me. And it doesn't matter if I have a good time or not. I just need to have alone time with nature, and the divine, to myself. I think a lot of us actually need that. And when we don't, that's where we get into trouble with burnout and nervous problems and things like that, anxiety. Let me just tilt this. Okay. All right. So, how about this? Can you guys give me either a pop culture or true crime or political question for the opening reading, if there's something you want to know too? I just find, Ian and everyone, that keeping to myself feels better. I'm a better person to others when I've had my needed recharge. But I do like people. I mean, I need people to bounce ideas off of, and I enjoy sharing tremendously. It's one of the reasons why I want to do a few more Netflix teleparties, where if you have Netflix and you get my link, you can pop on. There's a little chat log, and you can put little emojis, or and that way, like if you're somebody that's feeling kind of lonely and you're on your own, or what, maybe you just feel like being social, you can watch the show along with us all, and we can all kind of just drop a comment or not. I think that's kind of fun to try. So I want us to try that for those of you that are interested. And I will try to post it ahead of time, like a notice, we're going to be watching this show or whatever on Netflix on this date. And if you want to join the teleparty, here's the link. And I'll put that up. They have all been fake. Oh, the last night, the incident last night. Here's the thing. I automatically thought, oh, this is more theatrics. And I think we could definitely expect that. But the one thing is that they did get it, it could still be a setup. Hear me out. But I think that there's clearly somebody that did this. There's a name, they brought him in, but it feels like a setup, doesn't it? I thank you, Ian. I think it'll be fun. Let's just take a look. What the hey, right? We'll take a look and see. Was last night's event at the White House news press dinner, was that a fake event, a setup of some kind? I mean, I hate this so much because I know conspiracy exists, of course, but I hate now that right now there are people that everything is a conspiracy. It's like, no, sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. But sometimes now, especially with this guy, he's such a liar. Who knows? And his first term, do you remember there was a man that lit himself on fire on the White House lawn in his first term and uh, took his own life? It was horrible. And, that was just kind of like flip, flip. He attracts extremists of all kinds. Yes, the correspondence dinner. So let's take a look. We'll ask yes, no, try and kind of get it really pointed, hone the question. That's how you get the best results with cards. Because remember, it's only a likelihood if things continue to go as they have, that certain likelihood of events. All right, so let's see. Was that phony? Was that a setup? Was that some kind of setup? I'm also going to try using one of these decks that has phrases on it, like the Forecaster Oracle, possibly the Connection Oracle by Trish James in Australia, who makes great decks. All right. Oh, and another website, YouTube channel I want to share is the dearly departed. It's on my shirt. Dearly Departed Tours. If you are interested in, especially what Gen X remembers and gone through, and it's a lot of stuff about the 70s and Hollywood and the 80s. This guy is off the chain. And I will be putting up some links, occasionally with other channels that I think are good. Yeah, he has totally set us up to, on purpose, to confuse us. So let's just see. So let's see if it was faked. All right. Was this a setup? Because it sure smells funny. Just like the one in, what was that, Butler? So I just want real clarity, higher self, and Holy Spirit. And one of the reasons, you guys, that I use the Holy Spirit, I just want to make people aware, is that I've had dreams. So when I've communicated, so I feel connected that way. And I figure I must have some sort of a more established line of communication to get through. So let's just hope so. Anyway, we're going to try. Let's see what we get. I think I have shuffled these enough. Darn cards are getting dog-eared. Was it a setup? Some people said, oh, they think Cash Patel and them look so surprised. Yeah, but not everybody was in on it. He's another one that's going to be going, him and Hegseth. Okay, let's pull two at a time because that's how I read. Interesting. We get the Eight of Cups and the Star paired. So here we have the spotlight. This is And this is the walking away, having to leave, is in the spotlight. These two cards together make me feel like it was an attention drawing event that was done deliberately with that Eight of Cups because he didn't want to be there. Maybe he filled his diaper. I don't know. And I'm not trying to be cute. The man has a frontal lobe that is like Swiss cheese. And if you listen to people that actually are medical professionals that help people with these symptoms, like speech therapists, has been so enlightening to me. His doing this, if you notice, for example, in the video with the lady that comes to, and hello, Gina, in to do the setup, because everything's a setup with him, of the food that she was bringing him, the McDonald's. He starts when he's talking to her doing this. And he's standing there kind of self-soothing, twisting his hips and shoulders, kind of like that. And I will put up the link to the lady that can describe why this is indicative of part of dementia. He wants the new ballroom. Yeah, that's what he's focused on because he really doesn't. That to him is another monument to himself. Well and truly. So this looks suspicious to me. This is him walking away because he doesn't want to connect emotionally to that dinner. He didn't want to have to be there to be connected. You have cups, the Eight of Cups and the Star. And he gets the attention. He wants to, I think it's his way of making get stuffed. I do. I don't feel like being here. I'm bored. We're going home. But I do think that there's something odd here. So let's continue. Okay, we're getting the Five of Cups. So he's focused. He wants people to be focused on loss, or I think feeling sorry for him. And it's paired with the reversed Ten of Wands. He's internalizing his stress, and it's coming out where I think he's trying to draw sympathy, trying to draw pity. Even if I'd say this stupid situation wasn't something that was set up, he's still going to milk it. He is absolutely going to milk it. He was already half asleep. That's right. And didn't he trip and fall? We could also look at this Five of Cups and Ten of Wands as people that don't care anymore. Perhaps that man that is in custody that did this, reached a breaking point and went to this public event. And there wasn't very good security from what I understand, what I came to understand later. But they don't need a damned ballroom. They just need to make sure it has better security. Yeah, and why did they grab vice president first? We'll look at that too. And hi, Walter. Okay, we're getting the Four of Pentacles. He's wanting to hold on. He wants to keep control. It's, and that's fear-based. Because there's money involved here. King of Pentacles. This is also possibly Miller. And I would say, I think it's Miller wanting to retain control, some kind of control, or to at least control the narrative. We can look back at Miller. I really feel that he's the one behind these things. or calling the, pardon the pun, shots to how it's at least responded to or something. Because it shows him here in a position of control and feeling content with that control, despite the fact that there's a great deal of stress and people are focusing on this loss. And I guess that's what they want. They want some kind of a deflection. They want people to look away, which is also kind of an Eight of Pentacles redirection of your attention. Because now the war isn't going like he wanted, so he's not going to want to talk about that. Here he is, okay? We're getting the King of Swords, and we're getting the Ten of Pentacles. It's really interesting. Now, I did draw it reversed. And I feel that this is going to start to unravel him. And his genetics, he's always been transactionary. We know that. But I think it's also, he's trying to regain, I think, a sense of his own sense of superiority. And there is something about money here. Is there some link to this event where somehow he could earn money from it? They have to go through multiple security checks and a magnet detector. He's focused on money and his security, but this is interesting. We get justice paired, with another 8, the 8 of Swords, where we're being held back, something that's holding us back. That's, I think, an unfair law, or he's abusing his power and holding us captive. I just feel like these, whether they set it up or not, their reaction to things don't bode well for them. I think they're going to be caught in a very compromising situation with the 8 of Swords, where they can't defend themselves. There is you have to have a legal, and I know he's going to be investigating or something, the Secret Service and so on and so forth. I think this is also, I'm feeling like legality or legal issues where holding of immigrants are concerned, because that 8 of Swords for me is often a card of, also can be where you're made to feel helpless or actually be helpless. And you kind of have to use your brain to figure out how to get out of a situation here. Now, I know he's wanting to affect the laws, with all his orders. But this almost makes me feel, is this something that is occurring so that he has an excuse to do something else here with the law? Let's watch that possibility. 4 of Wands and the Knight of Wands. Okay, that's a lot of passion and directed activity toward bringing stability. We get the Hermit. and the Page of Swords. So there's going to be more analysis and I think a deeper look with that Hermit into this situation. There is something about the activities of certain people, maybe, that just is curious. And he's getting older as well. So I'm feeling like there's going to be more maybe analysis about his age even out of this. Um, and people are already doing that because one of the people I've listened to, let me run the cards again. Let me ask about why I really don't feel like I got a clear answer about it being a setup or not. But I feel like I was shown other things that they're going to use this for whatever they can. All right, let me rephrase. And thank you for your patience. Okay. Yes, no. Was this a setup? Yes, no. I think it could be a distraction from midterms. They're in November, but of course, there's always the famous October surprise when they, the different, usually the Republicans do pull out their dirty tricks. Make politics boring again. All right, let's see. Yes or no? Was this a staged setup somehow? Have we all just finally been given so much misinformation and lies that we are now confused? Was this a real situation or was this a setup? Yes or no? All right. I'm getting the King of Cups. Well, this makes me feel like somebody was emotionally sincere, and this makes me think it's the man. I need to look at the birth date of the suspect. It wouldn't surprise me either that he's caused someone to lose their ever loving mind. My concern as a Californian as well is he's going to, and I heard the man was a teacher, um, is that he's going to, and he's not given us money that we needed for fires and stuff, and he's done this with other places, is that he's going to use this as a way to punish California. Watch. This is interesting. An Ace of Pentacles. That's a manifestation. A star. Was there a man or somebody involved here in doing this? Was he given some kind of financial incentive or something of value, something that would be a blessing in his life, a gift? This feels like somebody given the incentive, does it not? All right. Justice and the Hermit. This is going to, I think, get a deeper look. Yes, deep reflection about this situation and maybe about the man that is accused or that was caught, because apparently he didn't get very far. He just, according to Adam Mockler, who was not at the dinner, but at something else there. The what was it he was saying? The guy did not get very far. He just got into the lobby and they basically took him down. So although I do think there was a Secret Service person that was shot. Why wasn't the alleged suspect only wounded and not passed away? Okay, Queen of Swords. And the High Priestess. We're getting a woman that's going to look behind the secrets, that's going to either get information or a leak or something secret, or she's going to be able to figure it out because she's very, very smart with the swords. And she's no bull crap. She's going to expose a secret, the Queen of Swords, possibly an air sign, but it might just be that she has that prominent in some part of her chart. However, it looks like we've got a woman that is going to have information that we are not aware of at this time. I think coming out pretty quickly about this situation. It looks suspect. It looks to me still like it could be a suspect. Why else would I get the High Priestess here? But let's just be open. We get the Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Wands. This is about security and protection, self-defense, and looking at developing security or defense. So maybe they have gaps in their system more than they should. But it looks to me like it could also be that this man studied a little bit of the setup of the place. But still, you got to have a screw loose to think you're going to get away. It's interesting that you see a man because I've been feeling all day a dark-haired man who will be retrieved on the Zorro Ranch property. I sense that there's many problems buried out there. That could definitely, hey, it sounds totally plausible to me. All right, let's see what else we get. So we've got a woman that's, I think, going to bring out secrets, possibly be given leaks or information that she'll bring out. And she's analytical, very analytical type. Oh my gosh, we do get the Tower, sudden or quote unquote unexpected. May not have been entirely expected. It doesn't mean that it wasn't a setup, though. Not maybe entirely. It just may mean that some people were not in on it. I do feel that. But it could have been that this was something that was not on their radar. With that Tower card, it is paired with some children. He is a teacher. Does anyone know if he's like a grade school or like he's not like he's teaching people that are younger than, let's say, the age of 18? Because we have the Six of Pentacles. Oh, that's Cups. We have the Six of Pentacles here, but this is give and take. This is donation. This is charity. This is also quid pro quo in some ways. And we get the Tower. It may have disrupted something that night. It's breaking. It will have an effect. The only thing I can say is with the Tower and the Six of Pentacles, it's going to affect donation. It's going to affect, I think, support. And it could be that he's going to start asking, begging season, using it to earn more money, because maybe that's why I'm seeing money around him about this. But it looks like maybe it was not anticipated. But maybe some people were paid to do this. I still feel like there were people that are deeper. Somebody, and it would not surprise me if it was Miller, and we already got him before with the King of Pentacles. Let's see some more here. Nine of Wands. Now, this is like boundaries and protection and your last stand. It's giving it your all. And it's paired, oh, how interesting, with the Four of Cups, boredom and not feeling connected, um, even narcissism, because with the Four of Cups, there's often an aloof indifference, like, meh, don't really care. Um, and that's, I gotta say, the responsive, I think. Let me just move this back because this is kind of bouncing against my knee. My bed is slippery, so I slide. Um, this looks like a very exhausted, tired energy. And I do think that he is becoming, well, he's asleep all the time, right? I feel like I'm also intuitively picking up here. He's having a loss of stamina. Um, and this may have been an opportunity for him to call it short and leave. He wanted to leave. I'm still not 100. I still think it looks like somebody was behind this. But I could be wrong. It could just be a man that's been pushed to his limits and snapped. And Trump doesn't care. His lack of caring about people could have been a big issue with this man. I have no idea. They said something that, and I'll have to look it up, but that he has some written, you know, ideas. I think he was paid to do it. Yes. With that Ace of Pentacles, it doesn't look like it was a great big amount, possibly even some kind of installment. Um, I want to look again at the scene in Butler. We'll do that another time. Maybe on just a pop-up live for that, because that for sure was a setup. This one could be like the man that lit himself on fire on the lawn. Could be, unfortunately, some poor soul that's lost the plot, and Trump will milk it, which is also gross. Okay, here's the socializing event, the dinner. This is the Three of Cups. Oh, and we have reversed temperance. Something is not balanced. There's some sort of an extreme, and it could be also the use of alcohol, or I would say other means, kind of being ginned up, as the saying goes. Maybe the guy also feels like Trump is an extremist, and he's the Three of Cups going to go to the dinner, the social gathering. We get the Four of Wands again. Now that can be about one's locality, one's home, even one's country, and about creating stability. But with this, the Five of Swords, and this is a power struggle. And we definitely have a power struggle going on in this country. It's showing the power struggle. Maybe this is just how it affected this guy. But I still think, why would I get the Ace of Pentacles? That looked like an incentive to me. Okay. That's just it. I've heard so many different things, not sure about what's real or fake. That's just it. You're going to have to use your intuition. I think it's really easy to push people that are already having issues to do something like that. And they may not even really be aware of it. I definitely think that that's something that happened in Butler. I think that that young man probably, I don't know, allegedly, may have been involved. And we're going to look at Vance. Body double for Trump. I don't think so. I think he's too vain. I think he doesn't want anybody but the real him out there. I think he's too selfish. I think it's weird. I'll look at it. So, first off, let's look at why Vance was grabbed first. I just heard in my mind that the person was that went to grab him was directed to do that, told to get him and get him to safety. He may have been closer to him. That's just what I'm getting intuitively with my mind and I think my logic. I believe that, yeah, we'll look at that too. Such a big difference between the rich and poor, yeah, and the educated and the not. And if you're not somebody that's very motivated, like people in my family, though we were poor, didn't go on to college and do things like that, except for my dad. Where our family is known for being self-taught, that we want to learn history. So we go to the library or look it up or watch programs, that kind of. The problem that's killing people is really the lack of curiosity, of just intellect. And it's not because they're stupid, but to me, people can be lazy. And there are some people that legitimately just have problems with that. And I think they get taken advantage of in these cases. They're easy to manipulate. All right, let's take a look at why Vance was drawn out first. Can we see that, please? This live might run a little longer because I want to look more into this a little bit. So please be patient. And if you have to go, this is recorded. You can play it back and see whatever you missed. Oh, guys, I get the Three of Pentacles. So they're acting like I was saying as a team. I feel like we have another person directing the guy to go and grab him. This was being, I think, the teamwork of the security there is showing up. Oh, with the Page of Swords. And this is something that they were, I think, on the I think on the fly, having to suddenly analyze and make direction and choose. And I think it was a little short-sighted with the page because really, well, oh, what just occurred to me is he is more valued than I think the president. The president's obviously the one that they're going for. So if if this person, the president, should not make it out alive, you want to keep your vice president, of course, safe, right? And that might have been part of that thinking, you know. But still, it looks to me like with the page instead of the knight, it wasn't that's maybe thought through as it could have been. Oh, thank you, Lynette. Okay, and here we have the issue with the Nine of Wands. This is putting it like a boundary, a protective, once again, shield, if you will. And it's kind of desperation. I'm feeling like maybe some of the people hired might need a little more training. Not all of them, but it just feels like maybe somebody's a bit green. And there was teamwork going on that fell a little bit short. And maybe that's why he's so angry. Because I thought you'd think he'd be grateful that they got him out and that he'd say thank you. But now I hear he wants to, I have to look at that again. I think he wants to go after and investigate. So I'll look at that later and put a little post up. This is about independence. And with the Nine of Pentacles, oh, and the Devil, and also a corruption, abuse of money, power. Look at that. So I think there's something going on there. I think Vance was taken off because he's more of a priority than I think Trump. I don't even know if they know that, uh, you know, obviously. I think it almost feels like it's an automatic kind of a response, but it runs a bit short. Really, you should be trying to make sure they're, both licky split, not one before the other. But I think that this must have caught them on the hop. We did get the tower, and I do have to acknowledge that is something that comes out of the blue that people aren't prepared for, takes people unaware. So maybe this was one of those. But we do see corruption, and I did see some sort of, I think somebody has put possibly the dude that did this up to it. It's just too weird with that Ace of Pentacles. It looked like a small payment or a down payment, you know, like an installation. And then what's he going to say? Oh, they put me up to it. I didn't really do this. Everybody, they just say, he's crazy. Interesting. Okay, we go from being guided here to get him out of the chaos to a place of peace where it's safe. All right, we're shown that, the movement and the guidance. Oh, and the Three of Cups. You know, I keep getting that Three of Cups. Were there, I wonder, and the Three of Pentacles. Were there were there three security people that were really responsible for this night in some way? I'm keep getting three. And I feel like these are the ones telling like one of them to go and get Vance. Again, there is like get them to safety. This is the focus, away from the dinner, away from this event. And it makes me feel once again like there's like about three people that were heading the response to this. The Seven of Pentacles, this involves a plan where you invest time, money into bringing things to fruition. Okay. And certainly we could say even logically that man had to do that a bit. But we get the King of Cups again with the Seven of Pentacles. Is he being helped in installments in some way? That also pops out at me with the Seven of Pentacles. It feels like there's a subtle growth or incentive of a plan that's falling into place. And maybe that he was a part of that plan, whether he knew it or not. They're very people behind the scenes can do things that we don't know about. Like Miller. Oh, this is interesting. Now we get the Wheel of Fortune, and it's paired with the Five of Swords. Again, I think that there is, because we're looking at a power struggle again between people, I think there's a power struggle between also those that support Vance taking over now and those that are still backing Trump. I think there's something going on with that. And I also think that there's a karmic link to perhaps this man in the past, maybe even in a past life, connected to this. He's linked to some sort of steady progress of a plan. And I feel like there is some kind of guidance. And it's part of their destiny, trying to get away with something. trying to get away with calling this maybe it not being an entirely staged event. I got to think there was some. It just feels like it with the cards here, and not just of this man alone, because we're given cards of other people connected somehow and secretly with that high priestess. That's odd, Maya, because protocol dictates the president and the VP must be kept safe. All right. Very quickly, let's also take a look at Butler. Okay. My shirt's twisted. Just a second. Take that. All right. There we go. Okay. Was the assassination attempt in Butler something that was staged? Was there a secret plan there too? Butler. Was Butler a setup, a fake, or a false flag, as we might say? Was Butler a false flag? Was Butler, the incident at Butler, was that a false flag? I get the Queen of Wands. All right, and paired with the Star. There's a female energy here that is in the spotlight. Was it through a female? Very strange. All right. Queen of Wands and the Star. I'm going to say that I feel like, once again, it's meant to get the attention of everyone. I think so. And maybe there is a female that is somehow significant, adult woman. That person would be very charming, capable of I think, getting people off their guard. Potentially, the Queen of Wands is usually somebody that's very warm, engaging, but can also be, on the flip side, very hot-tempered, this kind of thing. All right, now we get the Page of Cups. Some kind of opportunity. And the Two of Wands. Prepared to make, this is like a choice or a decision. I think somebody may have presented this as some sort of an opportunity. The Three of Pentacles, more than one person involved. This is a setup. That's the card I wanted to see if it's a setup. And it's paired with the Seven of Wands, security. Were people that were on the security involved? I think the affirmative, my opinion. So when you look at this, the Three of Pentacles and this defensive card of the Seven of Wands, it makes me feel like that definitely was. So I'm going to say that was. All right. And I think the reason that it seems so strangely familiar is because I think the architect behind all of this crap is leaving a sort of a familiar energy. And that, I think, is Stephen Miller. Watch it be Melania. Face pink. Oh, that's the little this emoji. Carol Leonig would be a great journalist to investigate the alleged incidents. Maybe they will. I think that I think what he's done is actually, no matter what, this is going to serve to put scrutiny on the past ones and that is going to be causing him to lose more support. He's going to hemorrhage support even more. And I said this in the past, that he would lose support eventually, that just enough of people that had supported him will stop and they'll be very angry with him. And we're seeing that now. And those are the people he really needs to watch. I think they're the ones that are willing to take risks to do something, that he's not part of the plan. Okay. So let's see. What was the other thing I wanted to look at? I'm just drawing a blank now. That happens to me when I'm reading. All right, so we looked at him. You know, it looks suspicious that it could be connected to a setup. I think somebody may have encouraged this guy. We'll never hear about that probably, but it does look like it's going to cause more scrutiny. Okay. Ugh, getting my hair up. I'm getting that psychic heat. All right, because it's foggy out here. Not really warm. Okay. And the ear. It reminded me too of, like, Butler reminded me of that wrestling stuff that Trump was involved in. And there was something that he learned about, was how to, because the wrestlers do this. It's part of the theater that people love. They get fake packets that they pop and, ooh, it looks like blood. That's probably what he did where his ear is concerned. Tom Clancy novel, for real. I think that it's pretty widespread, very corrupt people. You know, no good. All right. I feel like I'm missing something I said I was going to read on, but if you guys remember it, post it. I might just go ahead and get on to your guys' questions now. But he's definitely on his way out. He's causing, they say that his brain is being affected, where he's getting more saliva in his mouth and it's not kicking on to swallow, so it builds up. This is what one of the specialists was saying. So he's constantly, and this kind of thing. And she said that's because part of the frontal lobe is being destroyed. So, not a joke. I think his days are numbered. I do. But of course, they'll keep him in there too long. Okay, let's go to your guys' questions. I'll go ahead and do that. And if by chance you remember something that I didn't read on that I said I was going to read on, I'd appreciate it. It's hard to multitask this way. All right, let's go. All right, let's look at the next question. Oh, let me get a sip of coffee too. Okay. Not very much left. I got to turn down my little hot plate. Otherwise it gets all stewy. Okay, hi Maya. Now that things have calmed down with the stalker situation, oh, I'm so sorry about that. I had to switch around some creative projects. Is concentrating on the paranormal cozy mystery series the right move? Thanks. Jesse Ventura said it was a cutter move. Oh, yes, that they use in wrestling. Well, he'd know. And I firmly believe, because Trump cheats at everything, he fakes everything, he can't be constructive. He is destructive. So, I also have really strong feelings that I don't know why, but I think that that ballroom is not going to come through the way he wants it to. I do. I think that there's going to be a holdup. I think it's going to really make him angry. And I don't think he's ever going to get it exactly how he wanted it. I think he's going to be stymied a bit with that. I guess we'll see. Nobody seems to hold him to any, and they really can't, because he just undoes whatever law tries to do. But I still think it's important that people try and stop him. And I wish I were seeing more of that. I think we will see more of it, but I think it comes late. All right. So let's just see. Is the paranormal cozy mystery the right move? That series, cozy. I feel like an intuitive yes. Let me just take a look at the cards. And then I'm going to switch over to another deck just to confirm. All right. You know what? I don't have to move this. I can just, oh, there we go. All right. Let's see. For Lynette, paranormal, cozy mystery. I love cozy. I love cozy games, cozy mysteries. More my speed. Is that a good project for her now to focus on? Yes or no? I think so. I think you just need to release some of that nervous energy, that anxiety. You've got the Nine of Swords and Justice. So I think that's going to get sorted out, as you said, the stalker who's been causing problems. I think legally things are going to be okay. And I think if you can release, let go of that worry. I know that's probably hard to do, but I do get justice and I get the Three of Pentacles. I think the series is a good idea. And the Four of Wands. Yeah, it creates more sense of control and stability in your life with the Four of Wands and Three of Pentacles. And you're working with, um, other people that are involved in helping you to get this out. So I think that work, the Three of Pentacles, and it brings stability, greater stability where you have felt like that having to deal with that person feels better. I think that is a good choice. Let's just see a couple more cards. Wheel of Fortune and the Two of Cups. Yes, I think it's good. I think this is, it moves, and maybe there's even a new friendship or connection that is really strong as a result of this. It feels like there's a relationship or something that may significantly develop. I'm not quite sure. It could just be an agreement, but it looks like it's a go. Something is meant to be put out in the world. Yes. Judgment. That's also about holding people to account and a greater awareness and change in one's life. And you have the Queen of Wands. I think this is getting kind of your zeal back. You're feeling more in control. Okay. And that this person is going to have to deal with legal situations. Oh, okay. Yes, it was handled. I invoked VAWA. I have other items I'm going to add to the police report. That way, when he goes, the police report follows him. Thank you. Yes, it is a very good idea. And I think it gives you a sense, like I was saying, of greater control. And I think that helps your mood to stabilize. your energies, your fire, because I feel like it may have been causing you a loss of sleep before with that Nine of Swords. So this looks like you go into a better cycle if you do that. Okay? Keep us in the loop. Sounds really good. Okay, Michael, you're next. Message from my guides. All right. Let's use a different deck. All right, I'm going to put this one aside. And I think I'm not sure if I want the Woodland Warden. Let's just see. Or, oh, this one. I feel like this is the one. This one is called, and you can get it on Etsy if you're interested, Wild Beyond. Oracle cards. Okay, so for Michael, I'm asking his guides to help me to have a clear message for him. Anything that he needs to be aware of and focus on. All right, Michael Anderson. Gotta kind of pop back over here. Regional Cozy Mysteries have a consistent audience. Could you give us the title of it at some point when it's ready so that we can maybe read it? That'd be cool. All right, Michael. Message from your guides. All right, let's see what we get. Okay. Piercing horns, hidden hollows. So only by breaking the surface can you reach what's beneath. This is about confronting illusions, cutting through the BS and peeling back layers. And we have the hidden hollows, and this is seek spaces where your spirit can rest away from the demands. Retreat is an act of care. So I think you need to, this is a message about taking good care of yourself, giving yourself some TLC. You can push yourself, but be mindful and make sure that if you have to push yourself, that you replenish your energies by TLC, self-care, keeping to yourself so that you can recharge. Kind of what we were talking about. Because I think you can run the risk here of possibly burning out a little bit. You might be tempted to push beyond what is wise, and instead consider that where certain things are concerned, sometimes retreating back is the true strength. And taking care of your energy, if it's low, maybe you need more sleep, more vitamins, more, proper clean eating, things like that. It's self-care is being highlighted for you. And to see it more realistically, too. Don't just tell yourself, like a lot of us foolishly do, and then end up in the hospital, that, I just got to push through this pain. No. Take care of yourself. Don't push staying up too late or for anything. This is saying you need to take care of your energy, retreat, pull back away, possibly also from others for a little bit, as one must. All right. And tongue of flames, use your voice with care. Your words can linger forever. It says you don't need to roar. That could also mean if you're feeling irritable around people and wanting to snap, maybe, again, that is why some time alone to decompress and refurbish your energy is needed. All right. There can be some tendency toward irritation and saying things that are harsh that you don't really mean, but just maybe out of irritation and feeling tired and needing a break instead of taking care of everyone else. I think you need some self-care here. The second card with that is Water Dancer, and it's about embracing the in-between, and yet still move with grace and flow. See beauty itself in motion. So it's interesting. It's about slowing down and taking care of yourself, but it's also, I think, about release. And when I think of a water dancer or a dragonfly, I think of summer, and it just is like carefree, um, being in water. I think it's about relieving stress for you, quite possibly here as a message. And I think that movement, there is beauty in that. And I think like even the movements that we do in water, and it might be suggesting maybe getting into some water exercises or things like that to relieve stress. Regardless, water might also just be a way of recharging, going and sitting near the water when you're doing that in hollows, that alone time. Um, I would say it's time to pull back from people a bit because you can snap, you know. Inner howl. Honor instincts that call you to roam free on your own path. Embrace your wild side. You know, do what you need to do for you. You don't have to do things just like everyone else. Give yourself that break. Other people must say, "Oh, you got to push through." That, no. I think this is about individuality. Do recognizing that you need to do what you know is good for you, and that taking care of yourself and what that means. Okay. And the next card is Sly Trickster. Exert influence with patience. You're getting patience again, and precision of timing. Don't force the situation. So you need to be able, no matter what, with your friends and others, to be able to have some sense of freedom, to be yourself. And if someone is cramping your style or making you feel tense or, I think, irritable, definitely don't force the situation. You don't have to hang out with them. Um, don't allow them to make you feel any kind of way. Be patient with people, but I think you can maybe counter manipulate a bit if people are pushing you to do something you don't have the energy for at some point here. It's really about taking care of yourself and not kind of following what other people would typically do. Apparently, you need some downtime and some time maybe in your water if that helps you to relax. I'm going to pull one more for you. Courageous leap. See your anxieties as signals, urging a change of direction. Sudden shifts are required. So maybe you would typically push yourself to the limit. You're kind of being, not kind of, you are being told not to do that here. Um, and I think this is saying trust taking a different direction than usual if you're feeling kind of spun out where other people are concerned. Pull back. Okay? Self-care. Then you can really be there for people. All right. Okay, now we have Maria. And so we're going to look very quickly. Then we have Kelsey and Ian. All right. So let's take a look. You want to know if Ian We'll come back. Let's see, maybe this will work. Maybe it's the forester. Wait a second. I thought I had. Oh, yes. That's the goddess cards. Whoops. It looks so much like the other one. All right. Oh, you know what? The Lenormand. All right, let's use it. Rana George Lenormand. Very nice deck. This is my second one of these because I wore out my other one. You definitely are a Scorpio. All right, so let's just see. We'll look at your eggs and we will look at your colonoscopy. I think you're fine intuitively where the colonoscopy is concerned. But as always, and I will look at the cards, as always, if you notice like you're feeling like you've got a temperature, uh, or you've got discomfort, yet you could say something to the doctors. All right. Now, let's see. Is he going to end up coming back or trying to come back? What is the advice? Asking the Holy Spirit, higher self, and spiritual mentors, my guides. What is her advice? Use these cards where her ex is concerned. Is he going to try to come back? Okay, here's you, the card of the woman, or this is a female. I'm thinking it's probably you, but let's see what it's paired with. We have clouds. So that's kind of confusing. It's not entirely clear. Let me just get a little handle on that as well. I'm so glad she makes this deck easier to find. Yeah. Okay. It's, again, confusion. I think he's going to keep you confused, honestly, because it works to his advantage. So I see you being confused here. There's uncertainty. And that you might need to experience more chaos before you change. And I think that might be true. All right. So just so you can picture it, these are such pretty cards, despite the fact that they're showing confusion, uncertainty, a lack of clarity with the clouds around you. Okay. All right. Now, the next part of the message, okay, I think this is the garden. And there's an older female here. Socializing. There could be another woman in the picture, and it might be somebody that could be a little older than yourself. I don't know. But I am getting another female here, and I feel like this is socializing with that garden. I don't think that yeah. Nature's way of saying, let's party. It's a partying, gathering, public in general, going to the club, hopping, that kind of thing. So I do see a woman that he could meet possibly through socializing here. That's coming up. And I think he's kind of stringing along. Yes, and when? Would he ever do that if yes? Look, it just doesn't look good to me. It's like he's using you and letting you be confused so that he can string you along. And it looks like there might be somebody else that's involved that he may have met, like pretty. I'm getting the moon and him, 28. I think he's a bit of a player. Um, Definitely self-interested. Okay, let's see, 32. Why did I go backwards? This deck is just a little bit different than your standard one because it does have extra symbols, but it's really neat. All right, multidimensional. Emotions, romance, attractions. I think again, this is feels like he has other females that he's wooing. The moon is a very romantic card. It can be a wooing card. It's that pat on the back, emotional hug. I just think Maya told me last time he would try to come back. I think that if he gets bored, he will. But I think right now he's not because I think there is another others in the picture, and I think he's into being free, being kind of open and if he wants to come back to you, to come back to you. Oh, thank you, Michael. Thank you so much. This is about stability with the anchor and mm, the stars, seeing the bigger picture, valuing stability in your life and seeing the bigger picture. He's not going to bring that to you because I think he's too immature and a player. And I don't think he's honest about what he's doing. I think for you at some point, what this is also saying is you're going to have to go through something really transformative to have your feelings change and become more clear about what he's doing. Because I think eventually one day you're going to not want him back. And that might seem crazy, but I think you will eventually get there. It just takes time sometimes, all right? I know. And I do think he will, sweetheart. And I think he'll do it because he's bored or something didn't work out. You're not his first choice here. He's his first choice. And I think he looks at females from these cards like a fun ride. And he gets bored and he has fun and then he goes on to the next one. It feels like he wants to explore. 35 and 16. So let's just take a look at that. And just remember that you deserve someone that you're not just a second thought or the one to go to if nobody else is available. He's a liar. I saw that before, so I would not trust him. Yeah, the anchor is a heavy piece of iron, prevents drifting. It will weigh anything down. Now, that can be stability, but it can also be actually holding someone back. So let's just check out with 16. I like doing this when I can just get these little bits here. Okay, the star is about hope and guidance and the brighter, positive side of things. And it's expansion. And it is about energy. I think this is about also getting your energy more stable, perhaps, and not drifting where you you're still more likely to want to have anything to do with him, to be honest. Okay. It shows he's a player and he's keeping his book open because what matters to him is himself. I think he does get bored of people. And I think where women are concerned, like I said, they are like a thrilling ride. And then once he's experienced it, he wants to go do something else. And that's the energy I'm getting. You need someone loyal. Here's the dog. And we have the fish. Someone that I think is more mature, that is more well-rounded, is invested in lavishing you with energy and proper attention. So I think in the future you have someone better coming in. You just need to be aware of that. And I think that if you could meet someone else, I think eventually that would probably help you to not obsess on him. Okay, we're getting travel here or movement with the ship and children. Being childish, moving around. Not sure. But I do feel that there is an energy here of shifting, moving around, not staying stationary, and being immature. I think at the very least, like I said before, maybe the child is him and him playing games like the marbles here. It's a game to him. And he likes to try out different people. Okay, I am getting the letter and the mail here. A little older. So there could be some kind of communication, texting, that kind of thing with him that could occur. But it doesn't look good. It's going to initially, I think, look promising to you with that clover, but then you get the reversed coffin. Again, there is a feeling like you're being strung along here, and that what you're hoping for is not what you end up getting. There's going to be an ending. And let's see here with 8. A proper, I think, point of an end. Yeah, it's an ending. It clears out the old to make way for the new. So I think that there's holding on with him. And I think it's primarily you, okay? I think you're just an alternative to him. You're not a priority. I don't like that. And I think what it's saying here is that you're reluctant to let him go because you still think there's a chance or there's a hope, so maybe better luck. But I think you need to realize this person's not going to be able to give you what you seek. And they are going to use you. And it's just going to have to come to a point when you can remember that. He may contact you, but it looks like it's a little later on once he's bored. And I don't even know if he's going to follow through with whatever he promises to tell that he's going to do. He may say, yeah, I'll meet up with you, and then not. It feels like with that reversed ending, it's like it's not an ending that's good. It's an ending that kind of is going to, the problem is that you're not releasing it. It's something that's already over with, but you're holding out, and he's just going to take advantage of that. All right. So let's not do that. Try to work on your self-esteem and doing things that make you feel good inside and out. Okay. Now we're going to look at the colonoscopy tools. I see that he could at some point, but what I really see mostly is that it's like an afterthought. And I don't know when. Okay. I'm not good at exact timing. Very few people are. I think that it could be once he thinks, it could be a couple months from now. It could be longer. But I think it comes about whenever he gets bored. And so I think that's going to be largely on whenever he gets bored of playing the field. And he's ready to take advantage. So yeah, quite possibly. Don't hold me to that, but I think it depends on whenever he gets bored. Now, and they're just showing me that he's a waste of time. You need to clear the way of the old, and he's the old, to make way for something better. Just remember that. You deserve something better. All right, now, and until you get that through your head, people like this are going to be apt to be attracted, magnetized to you. All right, let's take a look. Clear that energy. Let's take a look at the tools in the colonoscopy. Was that okay? Was everything above board? Tools sterilized? Nothing injured? How does that look, guides? Colonoscopy health, please. Did things go well? What do we need to be aware of? What does she need to be aware of regarding the colonoscopy concerns that she has? I'm getting from my guides an intuitive feeling like everything's okay. I'm getting the card of the woman again. I think that's you. It represents you. Okay. All right. I do get the card of the snake. All right. And the anchor. And the ring. So I think this is you worried that somebody wasn't honest about the setup with the colonoscopy, that there was some dishonesty or something. Just to me, when I look at that, it looks like there's you sitting there thinking, I wonder if that was sterilized. Were they dishonest? Did they, snake? And literally, it is snaked down us or up us. I've had both done. And I see the anchor, and I feel like everything's okay. And I feel like there is, I think, commitment to good care, to making sure that things are proper and things are stable so that things don't cause a problem. Okay. And maybe this is I just remember having that done. It's been a number of years now. And believe me, I'm not keen to have it done again. I don't have any more problems, so I don't need it. And it is something where you do have to bear I think, okay, were you reading things or where people were talking about having gone through suffering of some kind? Maybe this talk or gossip or chitter chatter, if you picked up about having suffered, having a cross to bear, then as a result might be more of causing that anxiety than in truth there being a problem. Okay, yeah, I'm getting the fish and the female. So I think you're fine. There's good health in this. This would be a blessing, like abundance. So I think you're healthy. I don't see anything here. The snake looks like it's more of a worry that was present, but I don't see that being present. Okay. No, I think you're fine. Oh, here's the tower. Now, this tower is about like the hospital and institution of protective energy. And we do have the market being shown. Now, this is the card that is one of the extras. But I feel like the establishment you went to, I think, is reputable. Okay. And I think enough public people have come and gone and not had a problem. So I think you're fine that way. All right. But the other thing you need to get rid of will be that X. That is something you need to let go of for the sake of yourself. And I know that can be hard, but try working on that and just be open to that. Okay. Don't be afraid of letting go because fear is what's holding you back. All right. Be ready to clear the way for something new. If you have somebody that's in the way to really your dream partner, you don't want to be making yourself miserable by holding on to somebody that's can't hold a candle to them if you just open up. So just remember that, okay? I understand that you're addicted to him, but I think you will gradually become unaddicted. So just help yourself with that. When you start obsessing on him, and I know that must be difficult because you like tend to think of that person, but get doing something else. Get your hands busy. If you like gardening, go out and garden, knitting, anything. Maybe a little artwork, craft work, baking, I don't know. But usually when you can get your hands physically involved in something, it can really, that's like when I quit smoking years ago, that's what helps. I would like even go fold laundry, and I hate doing laundry, but it helped me to shift. So change the pattern, okay? When you start obsessing, change the pattern into something positive. All right. Thank you, dear. Here we have Kelsey. Thank you for your patience. And then we have Ian. May I know if Nathan and I will have a long-lasting relationship? Sure, let's take a look. Let's try the connection oracle. Well, Nathan and Kelsey have a long-lasting relationship. It's so neat. I can see these lit up clouds through my skylight, and they just look really pretty. All right. Nathan and Kelsey. Please help me to read on Nathan and Kelsey's relationship. If it's going to be a long-term, good relationship, can we have cards that indicate that, please? Is this relationship going to be a long-term relationship? Kelsey and Nathan. All right. Why do tops ride up? It's so annoying. Okay. I am getting confrontation and work connection. I don't know if that bears anything that makes sense to you. Is there a work connection that you have with Nathan? Did he recently go through something at work where there was confrontation? because this can also indicate some kind of a workplace injury. Now, I know that's not what you asked about, but it's what's coming up, and I'm not sure. All right, let's carry on until I hear from you. Okay, I get teacher and knowledge and caution. So this is a learning experience for sure, and it shows that there's caution. There is, I think, probably on your part, because you're asking about this, to trust or issues of trust, perhaps completely. Let's take a look. Okay, we get the peacock, and this is good energy. This is expression, especially because the male peacocks are the ones that have all those crazy, beautiful colors to attract the ladies. So it's interesting that we've got that here. And what do we get with it? We get introspection. And maybe feeling sometimes alone. I'm not sure. It might be that I'm almost feeling like, does he require more validation, maybe? Or do you require maybe more validation from him? There's a little bit of that kind of an energy here. Or there is some sort of introspection, but there's pride also, or being proud. It can also be being proud of one's appearance. But I see someone here that is what is good is that I feel like this would or should indicate that this would be a man that uses actual introspection and reflection. He's deeper and not just necessarily looks alone. You know, he's able to reflect or think. We are 3 months into our relationship. He's a lawyer, so he probably deals with that often. The work, does he deal with workers' comp? Maybe that's it. Anyway, regardless, this is a thinking person. He analyzes, and that makes sense if he is a lawyer. My mom was for years and years and years a paralegal. And so I got to know a lot of lawyers and stuff. Okay. Anniversary celebration. Well, if you have anniversary and release, let go of grudges. More free. I think any of the tension about trust, I think will be released. I think there's something positive here. And if you have an anniversary, I think that that means that it looks like there's some length to this relationship, okay? That you will celebrate. That's so cute with that puppy. And it looks so light, like letting go of the heaviness and celebrating that. And maybe the two of you just experience a much less heavy kind of energy together. It might just be that you're both maybe more harmonious and light in your energy, because that's what it feels like here with that anniversary, a celebration. It's my birthday next month. Oh, well, maybe you guys are going to go out for a good time and really let your hair down. That's nice. And you get family. Protect each other. There's the wolf, but this is protected. And liberate, again, about release, letting go of struggle or things that hold you back. There's somehow with this relationship, maybe for both of you, a tremendous sense of freedom coming. And but I don't see like you're broken up and that's why. No, I see like there's celebration and like you really feel comfortable, maybe even that you can relax if you drink alcohol maybe have a few drinks and have a good few laps and let go, let your hair down. Not anything too wild or crazy, but it feels like there's a protective energy here that you can feel liberated. And that's very interesting because to me it means you may innately feel like at some point you can really begin to trust and let go of any kind of, you know how it is when you're newly dating. You may not want to fart. That's not usually what you want to do. I remember that with my husband. Yeah. And it's later that like once you get to know each other, and then you're like, okay, I think that he's not going to leave if that happens. Okay. All right. And I just feel like again you have some caution um that there's still some caution, but there's a connection beyond the physical, I think, and it's transformative energy with him. So although I see being careful, and I think that's smart, I see this helps you both to grow and metamorphosize. I feel like I still haven't been able to tell him my inner struggles. Interesting, because let's go back and look at that card for you. That is about bound by struggle. But you're going to be liberated by that. You're going to let it go. I think at some point you're going to have that feeling like I feel like if I was with a family member that I could say something, and not be like, I don't blame you. I was just thinking today, because I was listening to like people's dating stories from using, and my own brothers from using dating apps. And I was just thinking, oh God, I don't know if I would date if I found myself, you know, I don't think I would. I'm older now though. But I see you're cautious, but I keep seeing what looks like there's release. There's a childlike energy here. And again, soul group and something about like family or sibling. I don't know. Is there something with him? I wonder if you're going to be meeting his family at some point here too, because I, I, I get light cards that are playful, where you're starting to loosen up a bit and you feel safe. And I think there's a sense of belonging. Transformed. See, again, there's something is going to shift and change, and it's for the best. It brings out the best, the beauty, I think part of you that needs to come out, that needs to fly and be free, released. There's a beautiful spirit in there that I think you're protecting. Understandable. Yes, and this is just about an adjustment period, okay? That this is an adjustment period, and you're right, you're fine. You're right where you need to be. This is going to be a very transformative, I think, for you both relationship that is helpful. And it's fine to be cautious and go slow. Take your time. New situation and birth, and thank you. I appreciate you. Maybe that's the birthday thing again. There's a gift. Maybe he's going to give you a very thoughtful gift, or just maybe the whole birthday celebration. It could be a new shift in your relationship, maybe where you're beginning to open up and feel less inhibited to, be more of yourself. It shows like a thoughtful gesture, new situation with this relationship. It's again, you are loved in my heart, and freedom, release from pressure. I feel free. And I don't really feel like that's breakup. I feel like, no, this is feeling comfortable, being careful, but eventually feeling comfortable. and knowing that you're in each other's hearts. Who doesn't like the kitty cat? Huh? That's wonderful. I think so. Yes. Don't be too hard on yourself. All right. This is a message from your guides as well. You may have dealt with feelings of abandonment or being left behind, second choice, that kind of thing, but it's time to let that go. That's not what's happening right now. Be open to the now and let it be what it is, and enjoy each moment that you have. I think keeping that open might help you to feel less of that pressure, that tension. Okay? Because I think he's not critical of you that way. I think you're more critical of yourself, and to let that go. Okay? Again, there's a heaviness here that is going to be released. Letting go, that you have to let it go. All right? Because your journey in life now needs you to shift and open up and to let go of heavy burdens. Okay? Letting go of heavy burdens, letting go of the anchor around your neck, being a lot more free eventually. And it's very healing relationship, recovery, to heal. I think for you both, stamina, renewed energy, no longer tired. I think you're going to have a renewed energy with this relationship, that you give each other energy rather than drain each other. And you're help each other perhaps to lighten up and open up. So maybe he's equally as cautious. And that's fine. I think just bide your time and play it by ear. It looks to me like it would be a lasting relationship and a really healing one. So keep us in the loop, all right, Kelsey? I wish you the best, and I'm praying for all my subs, no matter what, lifting you guys up. You do deal with abandonment issues, self-sabotage. Oh, yes, in the early stages of dating. I'm still waiting for that other shoe to drop. That's what the energy is. And I think gradually you're going to come to see that you can relax, that you can relax your jaw and have a good hearty laugh and be silly with each other. Maybe even to the point where you're very playful, like kind of like silly kids. I like that. So I think you're fine. You can be cautious, do what feels comfortable, but remain open to the possibility, because I think there might be a bit of you that's holding you back. And it looks like there's a massive transformation where something is just beautiful that just blooms and feels comfortable. Keep us in the loop, because I want that for you. I want that for everyone. All right. Last question of the live is for dear Ian. Thank you so much, Ian. I hope you're still about. You're so welcome, Kelsey. You are so welcome. Okay. I think my final sip of coffee. I love hanging out with you guys, even when there's just what, 4 of us here in the chat? That's okay. It's a long live. I can appreciate it. And there's probably other people like Linda doing their lives and stuff like that. Heck, I'm happy if 2 people show up, or even just 1. Okay, let's see. Hi, Ian. Okay, job-wise, you're having a hard time advancing in the job you have. Okay. And it sounds like you're ready to move forward, but you're kind of like hesitant, which I understand. Probably just going to take some time till you're ready to really commit to look into somewhere where maybe you have more advancement possible. All right, let's clear this deck for you. I'm kind of maybe interested in using the forecaster oracle. Let's see what we got. All right, now first I'm going to use this deck and then I'll use that one. Okay. All right, Ian. Is Ian going to eventually shift to a different job that will offer him more advancement, growth opportunity, higher pay, more benefits? Does he need to get active and look for that? Is he going to end up looking and finding a better job for him that offers him advancement and growth and benefits, pay, that kind of thing? And we're asking this for dear Ian, and we lift up Ian and all subscribers and everyone watching this, even who isn't subscribed, and I ask for whatever your needs are to be blessed for all of us, for Ian to get that job and to do whatever work he needs to do, and for that to happen. All right. Is there another job in Ian's timeline with more advancement that he can find? What does he need to know about it? Please guide us, and thank you. And thank all of you. Thanks to all of you. I hate it when I don't say it the right way. Perfectionism, weird Virgo thing. Oh, this is interesting, Ian. Communication message for you. All right, that's our first card. So you've got some news coming from this world of our spirit guides, your guides, my guides. And we have an issue of communication and commotion, making a big fuss, or a dramatic situation. Interesting. So this looks a little noisy. Maybe I'm curious, at your place of work, is it loud? Are people loud? Is it kind of hard to focus? I'm kind of feeling that with these two cards. Like I'm feeling that maybe the place and the people are just kind of rough a little bit, or make a big fuss or drama, using their voice. Well, it's casual part-time. Okay, yes. All right. Confrontation. Okay, things are going to come to a head at that job, I think. And I think you're meant to. All right. So, it can be hostile, a little bit hostile there. Kind of feels a bit rough. And I think it shows here, next to this confrontation, it shows carer, compassionate, and being a caring person. Maybe you're going to stand up for something, or stand up about something, because that's what it feels like, that you finally have enough and you want to make something known, and you might feel like something's not right, or that someone isn't being kind, and just basically kind. Does that make sense? You're at a hospital. Video monitor attendant works solo. All right. Well, maybe this is the thing. Maybe this is just also things coming to a crossroads with your job there, some way, somehow, and you're looking at, and it's certainly, a hospital is definitely a place of drama and a lot of quick moving activity. Okay. Let's see what else we get. We get a feminine energy. All right. And time. Time is precious. Don't waste it. Huh. Who is she? Do you have a girlfriend? or a mom, because it's really not giving me a sense of age, but I almost, this could be even somebody on the other side, a female energy that's saying, don't waste your time. Oh my gosh. I feel like this is, it just hit me. I feel like this is definitely like an ancestor, a grandmother, even a mother. I don't know, somebody, a feminine essence that has passed, that's on the other side, because it is also showing me with this deck, mediumistic message from a female energy about not wasting your time. So I think that if you feel like this job isn't getting you where you need to be, don't waste your life there. And I feel like you've got a feminine energy that wants you to know that if you, that life is short. And I just, no girlfriend? Okay. It could just be a feminine, like it could be an auntie, it could be grandma, it could be what, just a feminine ancestor. But regardless, I think the most important thing is if you feel like this is a dead end job, get out of it while you're younger. You know, time goes by very quickly here. Don't waste time. I feel like that's a green light to look. Okay. Okay. Masculine presence, male energy, and escapism. Sensitivity is needed. Are you daydreaming a lot? Because I think it also shows that you have a lot of empathy. Is that true? And it might be that you need a job where you have more contact or just interaction with people, because this feels like boredom, escapism. Work be lots of nights. Ah, yes, that 11 to 7. Okay, that's long. I just feel like you need more expansion, more stimulation. Blink of an eye. Again, life is fleeting. And that is something that you do see in a hospital, unfortunately. Some people don't make it. This is a message about life is short. Do make the moves, take the chance, take the risk. And, okay, we've got a power, issue of control. When's your birth date? Or what's your zodiac sign? Are you Scorpio? Because I am getting Scorpio here. This could also just be timing. I'm definitely getting that you should look elsewhere. Yes? Okay. Well, again, you're being told, don't waste your time. Life is fleeting. Life is short. Was a retirement home, but the pay sucked. Oh, I'm so sad. That's okay. Again, you are being told, take a chance. All right. 1982. Okay. I just want to double check these cards for anything with your birthday. No. All right. That might be a significant window, would be October through November. Okay. Where I think it's going to, I think, become really strong urge to say, what am I doing here? You're an Aries. My best friend is an Aries, my besties. There is a message here that, you know, you need to get out there and live. And this ain't the job. I just don't feel like it has the stimulation that you need. Okay. We're getting a foolish moment or a moment of weakness. The lamb. Isn't that a cute lamb, though? All right. And calm. Scattered mind. Calm, a scattered mind. Oh, and that's talking about May to June. All right. You know what it feels like to me is you go back and forth a bit with this. And maybe you're not quite 100 ready at this moment, but I think you're leading yourself to it. And I think that if we there might be situations that throughout May and June that are really going, the pay is great. That's the thing. Yeah. And I wouldn't be in any rush to lose that pay, but I would definitely, if I were you, be trying to find, and I'm sure you probably have, but maybe do so a bit more and keep looking for something that's comparable or that would draw you, because I feel like as time goes, there's a growing energy with you to find something different. And I think significant dates so far are May through June, when this might feel more intense. And then again, at the end of the year, within Scorpio season, October, November. So this summer and this late fall, early winter, there feels like there's more pressure to get out of that job that's coming from internally within. Aha. Okay. I feel like there might be something that you will end up doing to learn more skills or knowledge. I don't know if you would ever look at being any kind of a teacher or if this is you getting taught and learning new things, but I feel like it is about learning experience. And I feel like maybe being trained at the very least. Okay. And again, we get something fast moving, quick outcome, and things moving quickly. There might also be a mentor with this teacher card that could share something with you that really changes things. Because we do get this card of a swift or a quick outcome where there is transformation with the cheetah. It's like once you get knowledge, you're quick to act. And somebody might tell you of a job or say something that inspires you even more to check that out. Okay. Okay, right now this is acting out of what is secure, what is safe, but there's a lack of vitality. I think you're going to hold on to this for a little while, but I think it does get to you. Okay. Yeah. There's I think that might be something for him if he has that such empathy and compassion. My second diploma is in recreation and leisure and development services worker. Well, I just feel like you need to go to a place where you feel like more appreciated and where you don't feel so tired. You'll have more stamina and a sense of appreciation. You are loved and renewed stamina. I think that's coming. I do think this job, though, there is security with it. I think just there's a feeling drained, maybe just feeling too tired from it. And that can be because it's boring. That can be because it might mess up your uh, sleep. You know, you are disabled and have cerebral palsy. Interesting. That concerns me with energy wise here. Yeah, it might be draining you what you're doing. And again, there's like letting go. Don't be too hard on yourself. There's a dilemma, but I feel like there's some sort of a friend or someone that's loyal, once again, that is around you with this dilemma that might be able to give you some good advice or uh, tell you something that I think is important. Okay, we see shows that you've endured and you've gone through a lot. But I do see a new situation with the birth card coming up for you with regard to jobs. It looks like it is ahead yet. It doesn't look like it's just around the corner. Okay. So I think you're going to be there for a little while longer until, yeah. until there's something that I think you're going to find here that's new and where you feel like more fulfilled, where you feel like this peacock here, where there's just feeling proud of yourself and that you're able to, I think, really show your skills out more. Something that really is, I think, more fulfilling to you. And it's new. So, yes, I think there is something new. Oh, yes, your sleep is very, yeah. See, I think this is going to get to you energetically. And you're going to probably, with that renewed stamina, have to find something eventually. Maybe you can just save up from the job for right now for when you, for time unemployed. But I think we definitely have something new coming. And I like it because look at we had drained before. It looked really kind of sad. Look how vibrant this is. Something that is inspiring and that makes you feel, I think, more alive and connected to the job that you have. I think that's coming. Longevity. Okay. And recovery. Yes, I do think that you will find a job, and it could still be within a medical field somehow, but I think you're going to feel more fulfilled. So keep looking. All right. This is for Ian. Ideally, I would love a government job. They are cutting back. Yes, but still, there's no reason if you don't try, you don't win, So I think throw your hat in the ring. Just do it. Because eventually I think you've got something new that's very healing, that feels very fulfilling. I think that as a workplace, you will be there a while. I think that does offer training with the knowledge card, and that gives growth. Um, and you will have more clarity. Look at that. You're going to feel more, you know, focused, and like you can more clearly see the way ahead, which way to go. That eagle. Oh, and there's something here about a soulmate, um, an unbreakable bond. You might even meet someone that could be a soulmate. Now, that would either be like a really good friend or a romantic interest. Exactly, Ariana. So I say yes. It's going to take time, Ian, but go for it. And Ariana, just as I'm closing out, I'm just going to look at your thing really quickly. All right. So, Ian, that's your question, love. I see yes. Eventually, you will. I think your energy is going to get fiddled with because of what do they call that? Your arcade, is it circadian? Oh, I know I'm not saying it right, but I think it's going to mess with your energy. And you, as a disabled person, and even though you're not disabled, even if you weren't disabled, rather, we all need to have energy, but especially those of us that have a disability, myself included, I have to really marshal my time carefully because I know how my energy can dip. I see you finding a better job, but I think that you will be led to it. I think you may even meet someone that will be very significant to you that you would grow close to that feels like a soulmate. You may cross paths. That's a strong feeling. So just be open and just connect with the divine, Ian, and let them know that you wish them, your spiritual mentors and your ancestors, to guide you to something more fulfilling where you can really flourish, and be open to it and be patient, because sometimes the job that we need or the person we want to meet isn't open yet or isn't ready yet. And things have to kind of jet. It's not just BS. It's something I picked up like right before I met my husband eventually, after being miserable for years. All right, now I'm very quickly going. You feel like a vampire? Yeah. And see, I don't know. It just makes me feel like with the cards and from what you're confirming that I don't think that that is good for you. You may not be one of those people that, yeah, that works with my, like I'm a night owl. And even though I'm a night owl, I'm not that much of a night owl anymore. And the older you get with a disability, you really have to be more careful. So be looking for something new. Life's too short. You're being told that again and again. All right, sweetheart. Now you keep me in the loop, okay? And don't get down if you don't find something in the next few weeks or whatever, because it looks like this thing has a course that has to happen. And I think once it runs its course, you're going to be motivated to find something new. All right? I definitely see that with the birth card. That is a new situation. Okay, now Ariana, I think I got your name right. The best thing about the weight loss. Oh, and I want to share something else with you guys. Um, I have to take supplements and stuff for my healing. So also, as all of us probably need to be taking D2K3, it will help you with your ability to fall asleep and stay asleep. And you need to take it more toward late morning or early afternoon. It helps something with our bodies to set our sleep. And I kid you not, I take my supplements, especially the iron and the D3, like late morning, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, and it has helped my sleep. So I highly recommend D3K2 to get more rest, to have more uninterrupted rest. See if it doesn't make a difference. All right, now let's take a look and see if Ariana is doing the best thing for weight loss. A new medicine. That will give you a chance. Yeah, there's a better place for you. And you will get there. Just be open to that and keep having that conversation mentally with the divine, with the universe, however, whatever's, makes you feel comfortable. And be looking, keep looking. I tend to think it could come through chatting with another person, hearing about a job, or I don't know. It just feels like eventually push comes to shove and you're like, right, I've got to get out of here. And you will find something that really opens you up and I think is fulfilling and gives you, I think, training and the ability maybe to advance, that kind of thing. All right, now let's take a look. The weight loss for Ariana. And thank you all so much. If you haven't, would you please give me a thumbs up? And if you know of anyone that might be interested and find this kind of channel relaxing and interesting, please do feel free to share. I'd appreciate it. All right, let's take a look. What would be the most beneficial for Ariana with weight loss? Is she doing enough? Is what she's doing enough with regard to weight loss? I keep getting, looking into how different foods work together. To assist like with changes in eating so that like sugar spikes and things like that can be avoided. I don't know why I'm getting that, but Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I'm just going to share it. I'll be the fool. All right. Let's see what we get. Is she doing enough for her weight loss project? And if she isn't, I pray that she be guided and very intuitively, naturally drawn to what she needs to do and what would be the most helpful and healthy for her. All right. Okay. I say use caution here with the fox card. Okay. And it's about understanding, and I think if you've had regrets, it's now become wisdom and creates perspective. So be careful. And it feels to me like you are maybe cautious here because there might be some sort of realization in the past that maybe you went about it in a way that was not as beneficial as it could have been. And now it's like that awareness brings more caution for you. I think so. Now you're getting longevity, long life. I think this is the long game, not the short game, okay? That gradual, slowly done is best, okay? Nothing fast. Remember the tortoise, the turtle. Look how cute he is, or she. They. So it is slow. Slow down. And I feel like this represents you. It's feminine energy. I think it's indicating you. I think you'll have more success with gently, carefully, with regard to your health, losing weight. So I think that you're on the right track. However, anything that's like, oh, lose this amount, of weight really quickly, don't do it. You need to go like this sea turtle. You need to glide, and you need to be careful, mindful. And I think you're going to end up being maybe living a long life, even better health, and you get celebration. So I think so, sister. I think so. That's wonderful. This makes me feel like, yay, success. Let's have a smoothie. And actually, I can tell you from my own experience that I had to lose weight because I had high blood pressure. And I was able to change my eating habits and go off medicine for high blood pressure altogether. So you just change some things. Big changes that are positive can result. So I think careful, cautious movement and direction with regard to whatever you're doing is best. And it says that they're proud of you on the other side, and that you should be proud of yourself. Doing well. Like, yes, you're on target. Okay? Just remember that caution is wise because certain things can push things too much, and we often do that to ourselves. Yeah. Okay. It's talking about the hazy judgment. Here, maybe of the past. I just feel like between the past and now, you're sharpening your awareness of what to do, what not to do, what works with your body, what doesn't. Okay. This is about being compassionate with yourself. And I see like swift outcome. I think the more compassionate you and more love that you show yourself, I feel like the more you're likely to start to see results, maybe more quickly than you thought, even with the cheetah there, that swiftness. But it also might be a message of when you start to maybe be too self-critical or not, or hard on yourself, you need to change your mind. You need to give yourself some TLC. All right? Be loving towards yourself. All right? And I think you're going to hear from other people, someone else. We get another involved, and there's communication. I don't know if this is a trainer or someone that might ask you how you did it, and you share with them what you learned. But I feel like you cross paths with other people, and there's communication about how you've lost the weight, and what you're up to. I think it's to be shared. And this is sensitivity again. And to reverse neglect when we don't take care of ourselves. This is a real change. We can kind of not always be realistic. I could lose weight if I could stop eating chocolate. Yeah, and I could probably lose another 5 pounds if I didn't eat ice cream so much. But I like Talenti, and I don't have any plans of stopping because life is too short. It's talking about nurturing yourself, and we're having a focus on the mother energy. Again, TLC. There's a focus to do with the stomach and digestion, possibly also the time of Cancer, which is June through July, and focusing on your digestive health. There might be some things that could be irritable to this intestinal tract. Oftentimes, certain juices that can be a bit acidic, we have to watch things like that. So it might just be that you need to throw in a probiotic. I think it's just tinkering with, adjusting. Forgiving yourself and finding peace is also very important. Forgive yourself, especially from past mistakes. And I just feel like you're going to help other people with this card. Unite, resolve differences. You need each other. I think this is helping other people. I love chips and pop too much. My brother had to finally quit drink because he didn't like to drink coffee and that sort of thing, but he was drinking sodas. He liked his Pepsi, and it was affecting his teeth so bad, though. He had to quit. Also, I just keep it, although I do like them. Here, I just bought the most recent cherry float Coke to try. I think keeping it to a treat and not completely depriving yourself is important. So I don't make it like an everyday thing, but more like at the weekend, I might once a month, because I don't drink soda very often now at all, because I just get more thirsty. So I keep it as a treat. Like I just recently bought, I couldn't get a 6-pack of it, but I found one and I thought, I'll try this. But every so often it's fine. Just don't make it every day because that's not good for us. Yes, you are extremely sensitive to acidic foods. That's interesting because I do feel like you're going to maybe watch out for certain things that you might try to lose weight with that could upset the end of, your digestion. And if that happens, definitely go toward probiotic every day. That is really good for us to have. I've been told that in the hospital so many times it's not funny. So I have a probiotic, and I used to have IBS. I don't so much anymore. It's amazing what we can do, like my not having high blood pressure anymore by changing my eating habits. And I still enjoy some fried chicken, believe you me, but I just don't gluttonize myself. I have a couple of pieces, that's it. And I tend to make the bulk of what I eat more vegetables so that I fill up and eat less, you know, other stuff that maybe I need to have a little less of. So just try that, tinker away, folks, tinker away. Like, yeah, IBS, that's just no fun. Rarely eat tomatoes. Yes, I love them, but there's certain sauces and things that I have to avoid or tinker with to make sure that I don't end up like having acid reflux. So it's just things like that. And I think you're going to find your way, and I think you will be successful. All right. And Ian, I think you're going to find another job in a little bit. And in the meantime, just prepare. Just prepare and, be looking, be open, and frequently connect telepathically with the divine. And that's really for all of us, no matter what it is that we're looking to change or need help with. We just need to reach out and be open. Oh, hi. Secondhand news with Jill. Hello. It's been so long. Good to see you. Thank you. Yes, I'm, knock on wood, I am on a positive flow of healing very slowly, but I am getting there. And I'm doing kind of what other people here are doing. I'm eating, focused on a diet that's high protein, lots of vegetables and juicy fruit and stuff like that in the morning, and protein through really like 16 percent. No, what was it? Not percent, but it's milligrams of protein. Oh, I want to show you guys this yogurt that I found at Whole Foods, Whole Paycheck. But this is really good. If you can find it where you're at, and then in the morning, it's really important for us to have a protein, but like I just can't always eat meat first thing. But this I can do. This is the Painterland Sisters, and it's so smooth and creamy, and you get, where was it here? 16, where is the thing? The protein. 16 grams of protein, 6% milk fat. But this is them. And when you take this, come on, focus. Oh, you devil. No. All right. Well, Tainterland Sisters, really good. And when you take this off, watch this. This is so cute. You peel off the label. I love that this is, if I eat this tub, and let me tell you, it was no problem for me to eat this tub all in one sitting. I could go for a larger one. But look, they give you a little thing. It's strawberries, because this is strawberry to color. Probiotics for you and your tummy tea. Isn't that cute? So there's the, you can scan that if you want to find it. All right. I highly recommend this yogurt. It's so smooth. It's better than much of the yogurt that I've tasted out there. So good. You didn't like it? Try this. This is super, super smooth. Now, it is a little bit more, but it's worth it. And if you didn't like it, I'd be stunned. It's so smooth. That's like, oh, this was strawberry. Strawberry is my favorite. They have peach, they have vanilla. They're all good, but this one's my favorite. All right. And whole Paycheck has it. But if you follow that scan, you might be able to, find where it's at. All right, guys. I'll go ahead and close this up, and I will see you on the flip side, and I'll be getting some more videos out. It was a pleasure to read for you and lifting us all up with our needs. And take care. And you'll see me again next week, same time, same place. Remember to hit the notification bell. That would be helpful. And I will talk to you later. All right. Take care. And I love you. God loves you. You're never alone. You've always got a spiritual presence with you, whether you know it or not. So just remember that. Okay. And tomorrow's a new day and a new start. If you've been having a bad day, just tomorrow's a do-over. I love you too, Michael. I love all of you. I really do. I'm on next Sunday. I'm on every Sunday, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So just if you can click the notifications, YouTube might actually let you know and remind you. It's so helpful. But it's always usually at 3 p.m. Pacific time. Oh, thank you, Secondhand News with Jill. And a happy week to everyone, a blessed one. And don't forget to talk to your guides. They're there. All right. See you later, everyone. Bye. Take care. You are enough.